Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Morning Musings. My name is Daniel Rogers, and I'm the minister for the Hickory Street Church of Christ in Arcadia, Florida. Our website is christiansinarcadia.org. We just started a class on Revelation that I know you're going to enjoy, and you can find it there, christiansinarcadia.org/revelation. All the notes are available for download via PDF on that website. I'm standing in this week for Dr. Don K. Preston, who's the president of Preterist Research Institute in Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is, of course, Morning Musings. I know you're all appreciative for all that he does in the study of the Bible and producing videos, audios, articles, whatever other else type of media he produces just for you so that you can have a closer relationship to God through study and through a better understanding of the Word. And you can also have the opportunity to test the things that he says and to hold fast to what is good. This week we're talking about the man of sin. Particularly today, we're going to talk about the restrainer. Who was it that Paul said was the restrainer in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2? Because the one who was the restrainer, when he would be taken out of the way and the man of sin would be revealed, then you have the coming of the Lord. Now, in yesterday's video, I gave a suggestion to you as to who the man of sin is. And I mentioned that I don't want to be dogmatic about the exact identity of the man of sin. I just wanted to put my suggestion out there so that we could talk about it in the comments. And I do appreciate all the comments that were relevant to the video that you made yesterday. Now, the same is true with the restrainer. Like with the man of sin, I recognize it to be a zealot, and I am confident in that decision. But I also believe that the man of sin, that the restrainer is someone of the existing priesthood, or at least is the existing priesthood in general, just like the man of sin is sort of the face of the zealot movement in general. Now, what's interesting about the restrainer, if I'm correct that the mystery of lawlessness is the zealot movement, then what was restraining that mystery of lawlessness from really taking hold was the existing priesthood. When you look in the New Testament, particularly in the gospel accounts, the priesthood was instrumental in trying to keep down any sort of zealot movement. In John chapter 11, for instance, the council gets together and they lament over the fact that Jesus is performing actual signs and wonders. And they say, you know, it may even be the case that everyone's going to believe in him now that he's raised Lazarus from the dead. Well, they say in there as well that they need to stop this because Rome just may come take away their place in their nation. Now, why did they think this? Well, they had dealt with people like this before. And we talked about already how Gamaliel goes into some of those details in Acts chapter 5 about some of the other leaders that had popped up here and there. So they had dealt with this kind of thing before. They had already put down and helped put down other individuals who were trying to rebel against Rome and trying to bring Judah back to its former glory in the days of David and Solomon. All right, so they saw Jesus in the same light. They saw Jesus as just another rebel they're going to have to put down. But there's something different about Jesus. The miracles and signs and wonders that he was doing were real. All right, let's move forward a little bit in time. Jesus is now being tried. And what did they holler out? They say, "We have no king but Caesar." That's amazing. They're trying to line up with Rome in order to avoid any type of conflict with Rome. They even say that if an individual calls himself king, he's no friend with Caesar. So they're putting Jesus against Rome. They're trying to say he's just another rebel. We got to stamp out this cause. It's going to bring about no good. Of course, they said the same thing about the apostles in the book of Acts. We even pointed out how Felix trembled at the idea of this future revolt and the judgment of God that would come because of that revolt. Now in 2 Thessalonians 2, Paul talks about this restrainer. And as I've mentioned before, I do believe that the mystery of lawlessness is the zealot movement. When you look at 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and you compare it to Josephus, it's interesting that Josephus brings up something about this man of sin, this horrid piece of wickedness, as well as an individual who is trying very hard to restrain the mystery of lawlessness. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, in the comments here in my book on Revelation that you can get from Don Preston from Amazon, or for eSword for free. You can get it for eSword for free on my website, labornotinvain.com. This is a comment that Josephus makes about a high priest named Ananus. He says, I should not mistake if I said that the death of Ananus was the beginning of the destruction of the city, and that from this very day may be dated the overthrow of her wall and the ruin of her affairs, whereon they saw their high priest, not the usurper, but their high priest, and the procurer of their preservation, slain in the midst of their city. Now, why did Josephus see Ananus' death to be so critical when it came to the fall of Jerusalem? Because he led the force against the zealot movement. In fact, if you go to Josephus' Book of Wars and you do a search on the word Ananus, you'll be able to find several different speeches that he gave, different actions that he took to try to put down this zealot movement. Ultimately, he was unsuccessful, and the individual who was trying to restrain it, trying to hold it back, died. And that marked, in Josephus' eyes, the end of the city. From our perspective, that marks the time of the revelation of the man of sin, and therefore the time of the coming of the Lord to destroy the temple, to bring to an end the old covenant age, and to bring in forever and establish forever the age and world of righteousness, the new heavens and the new earth. I hope that you've enjoyed our studies this week. I have one more lesson with you tomorrow where we're going to kind of tie all this together and show why this study is such a crucial and important study. I thank you so much for your attention and for the comments that you made that were relevant to the discussion and the questions and things like that you've asked me privately. I hope that this book is a blessing to you. I hope that our studies have been a blessing to you, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. See you tomorrow.